All right, so now we need to be able to send or to get data from our parent to our child. In other words, what is this rating, 3.2 or 4, whatever, and so therefore we can adjust our width accordingly. Well, you and I both know that this stars is a component or a child of the product, but technically this star component should be able to exist not just as a child of of the product list component, but of any component that we wanted to utilize. And so therefore, since these components can be, in theory, put in anywhere, they need to operate independently, not depend on the parent, and therefore not expose itself to the parent or vice versa, meaning that all of these components are self-contained. So if we want to send data from our parent element into our child element in this case, the child element has to expose some kind of property that some kind of opening, if you will, expose a property is what we're going to do so that the parent can then send data to the child. Meaning that this is what that's going to look like. So what I want to be able to do is I'm going to go into this PM star and the parent wants to be able to send data. And so I'm going to expose a property called rating. And it's going to be, I'm going to send via rating, via this property, we're going to send product.star rating. All right, so we therefore have to expose rating to the parent. So to whoever is using our class, we have to expose rating so that they can send data to us. So this is done utilizing the @ symbol, at input, and then the function. And input automatically got imported in from Angular Core, so it should show now component and input. And so what we've done effectively then is we've created the ability to send data from the parent via this property called rating into our class. So data from our parent into this class. So now we have to be able to recognize every time that this TD is run, every time that our PM star is created and the parent send us data through rating, we're going to implement what's called onChanges, which is a life cycle hook, implements onChanges. And also notice that onChanges got added here on our input, so that's good. So we'll talk about life cycle hooks in another video. For now, just recognize that this is called a life cycle hook, which means that throughout the life of this component, as long as this component is in the browser and is being utilized, anytime there's changes that are created on our rating, in other words, anytime that PM star is rendered and data is sent via the rating property to our class, then we need to do something. Then this class needs to do something, and we can see that we've got this underlining. Here we can look down here. What is my error? Star component incorrectly implements interface onChanges. NG onChanges is missing. So what that's telling us is inside of our class, I need to have a function called NG onChanges, which is receiving nothing. It's sending nothing. So I'm going to put void. I'm going to put this all together in a minute, hopefully. And what's going to happen then is anytime the class recognizes a change, data is sent from the parent via the property rating, onChanges is going to fire. And what we're going to be doing there is we're going to say star width, which should be this.star width is equal to, and then we're going to get whatever we received from rating, which needs to be this.star rating, this.rating, sorry. And we're going to change the width based on what we received, this.rating, and then I'm going to do, let's see, not this.rating, not equals, maybe divided by 100 times 5 or something like that. So that way I can alter the width of the div, which is what star width is, based on the rating that I received from the parent. So in other words, every time the parent renders this directive or this component, I've exposed that rating, and so therefore that is my open doorway, if you will, between data coming from the parent to this child, to the star component. At input always has this on changes, implements on changes. These two always go hand in hand. And the idea then is when we receive data from whoever is utilizing this property, fire off the on changes event, which is what this is doing. And in our case, when that fires, then we're going to change our star width. So if that's in fact what happened, we should be able to look at our page. And if your browser is not demonstrating any changes, in other words, I've got this blank whatever. So sometimes what you have to do in this case is terminate the job. So I did Control C and then make it recompile. So I'll do npm start again. And hopefully after that happens, then your page should come up with the new star ratings. So I'm going to put this on pause while it's compiling. All right, so it's supposed to come up. Mine didn't come up. So I looked at my my math problem here, and because I was talking, I think I did this wrong. So this rating times this dot rating times 100 divided by 5. So I think I did this wrong. This rating times 75 times 100 divided by 5. I think I did that wrong. So now I'm going to have my dog groan at me again, and now this is working right. All right, so now, okay, there we go. So you have to do the math problem right. All right, and so now you can see that my width is changing and my rating is changing, so that's good. And now you can see 4.8, 3.7, and it's trying to make the width change based on the calculation. So now we've got data coming from our parent to our child. And in the next video, we're going to go from our child to the parent.